Alrighty guys, hello and welcome back to the show. Today we have a 3v3 going down on Neuroxis Map Generator. This is a game hosted by Fong, who's down here in the bottom left-hand side of the map. And if it feels like I get my knee pads out every time Fong is hosting a game, it's because I kind of do, because he does a lot of great things for the community, like showing lower rated players that think they're hot shit that they will get skull fucked by anybody who actually knows what they're doing in this game. Definitely not me, because I have no idea what I'm doing, but somebody else who actually knows what they're doing. Anyway, 3v3 on Neuroxis Map Generator. We got about 6k, a little under 6k reclaim, as is displayed by the reclaim counter here. And we're going to call this team 1 over on the left hand side of the screen, this team 2 on the right hand side of the screen. And let's go ahead and introduce our players. We'll start with the northernmost player on team number 1. We have ICOM, who is going Aeon, opening land. Got an engineer on his way. He's got some mass extractors queued up, got a couple power generators. He's got things sorted out, even spaced out his P-gens so that they don't get hit by bombers. Not sure if that was on purpose or on accident, but hey, he's getting credit for it either way. Down towards the south, we've got TYR Shadow, who's going Seraphim, opening first air. TYR Shadow, don't know if that's actually a reference to the swimming equipment company, but my team, Texas A&M, was sponsored by TYR for a while, and I hated all of their suits. So yeah, I don't hate you though. I'm sure you're great, TYR Shadow. I'm sure you're awesome and have no affiliation whatsoever with the swimwear company. Anyway, down at the far south, we have Fong for team number 1. He's going Seraphim, opening first land. Got his air grid queued up as well with some nice power generator adjacency with 3 engineers working on that. Shifting over to team number 2. Start at the north, we've got Stoned Elf, who is going UEF, opening first land, second land, and what I'm going to imagine will be third air within this little, nestled within this little power generator cradle that he's building here. Stoned Elf in the cradle and the silver spoon. The elf in the cradle and the silver spoon. Little boy Fraggington, and then the man in the moon down here. Fraggington's going to be our second player. He's going UEF, opening first, second land, looks like third air with a lot of power queued up. Definitely doesn't want to be pulling any stunt that I'm famous for in power stalling, like a madman burning through something or other. Anyway, next we've got Amygdala, and he will round out our players for this game. He's going Cybran, first, second land, third air, getting his power grid set up. Raiding parties now shaping up here for Fraggington, as we got a couple of mech marines on the way out with a snoop in tow. And then on the south for Amygdala, we've got a hunter as well as a mole. And then at the far north, we've got a snoop as well as a striker. So not going for the lab there for the Stoned Elf, going for the heavier Tech 1 tank. And we do have labs, a couple of flares out there for ICOM as well, so he's going to be responding in kind as the scouts catch wind of each other. Do not like that there is another scout on their turf. These guys are like a UPS driver running into a USPS driver. It's got to be awkward whenever you see somebody that's doing your job better than you. Which is essentially what it's like whenever I drive down my street and see all the lawns that are mowed. I'm like, wow, you guys are way better at this than I am. So we got a bomber trying to respond to the lab, or the light assault bot spam, as well as the snoop. It's out there for Fraggington and doesn't seem to be able to do it. We've got a striker getting taken out by a shimmer. That's going to be the end of that little raiding party there for the Stoned Elf. And down at the south, Fong could lose an engineer here. He's got a couple of engineers in the vicinity. We'll see if he's paying attention. He could reclaim that hunter if gets... Yep. All right, so that hunter is going to get reclaimed, but still going to lose an engineer. So not the best raid, not the worst. Not the best raid, not the worst. And it does say 20 by 20. I think this is actually more like 12 by 12 and a half by 12 and a half, because this doesn't feel like 20 by 20 to me. I think 20 by 20 would be much bigger. And on Neuroxis, you can host all different levels of map sizes. So It's always good to see, but usually it says 20 by 20 for anything over 10 by 10. So this might be like an 11 by 11 or a 12.5 by 12.5. Either way, relatively large map. As Striker going to be squaring off against the Tham there for TYR Shadow. Striker actually going to be moving there towards the north. So ICOM batting away a couple of units there from Stoned Elf. And an attack bomber still out there perusing up north. And down in the south, looks like Amygdala getting a couple of units into Fogg's backline here. Fogg going to lose another engineer potentially if Amygdala is paying attention. I think Amygdala is an organ, right? Some sort. Is that the thing in the back of your throat? That every time Tom like sticks Jerry in his mouth, talking about Tom and Jerry, like the cat and the mouse, Jerry always goes into the back of Tom's mouth and like starts punching that thing that looks like a punching bag. Is that your amygdala? Oh wait, that's your uvula. Is that your uvula? No, it's not the vulva. No, I don't know. I think the amygdala is a body part. I'll have to go look that up after this cast. As we've got a grouping of Thams now for Fong shifting north. The Mantis there from Amygdala going to take some favorable trades there and might pick up a mass extractor as they get a couple of reinforcements here. Now Fong's forces outmatched by the Mantis. And Mantis going to be able to mop up those Thams. Might be able to shift north. Be able to pick up maybe some engineers. See if Amygdala is paying that much attention. As it is, they're going to pick up another Zooey. So little trades right now. Not going to be able to get the Zooey, but going to be able to get the mechs. So little trades right now. The little trades are going in favor of Amygdala as it stands right now. A bunch of comm upgrades kicking off. So speed and range coming in for Fong. Speed and range coming in for Amygdala. We've got ICOM starting range. He's already got the speed upgrade. And then gun damage and range coming in for Fraggington. Nothing as of yet for Stoned Elf or TYR Shadow. But lots of comm upgrades firing off in rapid succession. As you would expect to see, you know, we're getting to that 7-8 minute mark. That's whenever everybody decides to start thinking about commander upgrades. I haven't seen a whole lot of comm on comm action. Might just be because the map is relatively big. People want to just run around the commanders. That seems to be what Amygdala is doing down here at the bottom for sure. Doesn't really want to tangle with Fong's commander if he can help it. And T2 actually now coming in for TYR Shadow, as with Fraggington. So these guys seem to be mirroring each other. And Fraggington actually going to cancel, go for Nano. So going more for that in-your-face battle comm build. ICOM now finishes his full gun upgrade, starts advancing on Stoned Elf here. Stoned Elf seems to be getting T2 on his commander right now. And there's not a ton of T1 in the vicinity for Stoned Elf. And with this gun commander, ICOM could pose a pretty potent threat as he gets a nice overcharge, takes out a couple of different tanks, and goes storming on up that hill. If I could remember the rest of that chorus. It goes running up that hill, something, 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 made a deal with God, something or other. Wouldn't want to trade places with Stoned Elf right now, because he's looking like he's in trouble. And Plasma Cannon, not going to be able to get finished. Stoned Elf just might be dead here. I don't really know what he can do to stop it. Drops down to 7k HP. ICOM is kind of running out of T1 units though, so he might, looks like he's going to play it safe, and instead of advancing into the unknown, which is what I certainly would do, he's going to play it a little bit more safer. Play it a little bit a little bit more safer with that double comparative. Yeah, because that's, I know English. You've got your comparatives and your superlatives. There's that little group of Mantis. I think it's the same group from earlier. Gets in the back line, causes some problems there for Fong. Ilshiva is going to shoo away lion's share of them, but one does make it away with a little bit of HP left. Live to be a nuisance another day. It's like a younger brother. I'm the oldest of 4, so I'm allowed to make a joke like that. It's like your younger brother just barely makes it away. He goes running to mom. Of course, doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if your younger brother took your Game Boy Color and threw it out of the balcony. It only matters that you hit him for doing that, you know? That's a true story. But my Game Boy was fine. Like, they... whoever manufactured... Because I don't think Nintendo does any manufacturing. I think they outsource their manufacturing. But whoever spec'd, like, a Game Boy shell... like, they do not make electronics the way that they used to. I remember my Game Boy took us tumble off like a 3rd-story window and still worked. Alright, damage and range now coming in for Stone Delph. He did not ever finish that T2 upgrade. So he will be going for the Zephamp upgrade, which is super nice against Aeon units because it means that every shot just kills 1 unit. Exactly. It's very, very satisfying. You watch, just pow, dead, 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 dead. It's so fun, isn't it? Unless it misses, then it's less fun. All right. So Stone Delph has bought himself a little bit of time here. But the T1 units here for ICOM are assembling, and ICOM still with that gun upgrade, actually doing some manual reclaiming of his own. And at the south, Fong getting T2 to complement his gun upgrade, and Amygdala's got stealth as well, so see that nice little Cybran stealthy gun ecom. Which a lot of people say I think is the best way to build the Cybran Commander. I know I was talking to players that are better than me, which is very nondescript because every player is pretty much better than me. But they were talking about how Tech 2 really on Cybran is a poor move and leaves you way too vulnerable. It's much better to just go stealth and gun instead. And we can see Amygdala kind of benefiting from that there as gets out of vision range. That stealth kicks in. Tech 2 point defense can't track him anymore. As in the middle, Fraggington forcing TYR Shadow off of his forward position. And TYR only with Tech 2. Fraggington with that gun and nano upgrade at his disposal. Really could do some damage here. There's not really very much for 2IR Shadow coming to help at all. He went for Tech 2 Air. We do see a Volthu out tickling Fraggington there. Fraggington does have his interceptors back here though. He's going to call those in, and he's probably gonna back off, I think, at that point. Maybe not. Still continuing, but up at the top, I think slightly more important push coming to bear here. ICOM has gotten his shield upgrade finished on his commander. Stone Delph only working with his gun upgrade still, so at least he does match gun for gun, but doesn't have the kind of HP and staying power that ICOM is going to have. Let's have a lot of Lobos though back here, throwing out a lot of shots, and ICOM's commander doing work there. 80 kills to its name. ICOM losing Tech 1 units, and holy shit, the Lobos just eviscerated ICOM's shield. And here we got another volley coming in. That's going to drop him well into the yellow, down under 6k HP. I think he might have to, yeah, he's going to have to fall back now. Brings in a shield to cover. As the Lobos eat through the shield almost instantly, ICOM down to under 5k HP. Good hold there for the Stone Delph. Found some Christmas gifts there from Santa and those Lobos. Really think I wasn't gonna make an elf joke? We can call him Buddy the Elf. That's what we'll do. He likes syrup, candy canes, candy corn. I think there's one other one. I can't remember what it is. Now he's getting ballsy though, and ICOM's starting to get some Tech 2 units out. Let's have Tech 2 HQ here. Seems a little risky on the front line, but you know, at least those Tech 2 units get pushed to the front line immediately. As Stoned Elf continuing to play with fire here, and ICOM with a newly upgraded shield. They're going to exchange some blows, but I don't think anything is really going to happen up there. Where things get a little bit more interesting down here is Amygdala's extension, and there is an Utashala almost done there, Fong on the southern side of the map, and Amygdala is just not really reacting. Fong's commander is here, although to be fair, I'm not sure Fong knows that Amygdala's commander is down there. No, he has no idea. So it's just two boats passing in the night. That's that stealth upgrade paying off there for Amygdala. Amygdala gonna go aggressive? Question mark? No, I don't think so. Okay. And up north, Fraggington, after evicting TYR Shadow from his expansion, is now moving to mess with ICOM, and ICOM kind of has his hands full up here with the Tipsy Elf. Stoned Elf, that is. And ICOM, even with this gun upgrade on his commander, just for whatever reason doesn't really seem to be taking great, or even with the shield upgrade on his commander, really seems to be struggling with the trades. Although the Stoned Elf, I think, has bitten off more than he can chew here. He took one too many hit from the bong. A little bit too much out of that joint. I don't know, I don't really smoke weed. Like, ever. So I don't really know what I'm talking about. Stoned Elf is going to go down, though. Got a little bit too blitzed, a little bit too crossfaded. How many other words can I use? Yeah, I don't know anything, really, about smoking. As Fraggington now putting pressure on ICOM's base. ICOM scrambling to get some eruptors up. And first eruptor's going to go down. Second one getting some kills in, though. Needs to get these Lobos involved. Volthu comes out from Fraggington. Quite sure what that was. Was that a Control K? It may have been a Control K on some P-Gens. I don't know. Wasn't paying close enough attention, but the Volthu's there from TYR Shadow going to go down to the Skyboxers in Fraggington's mix. It's forcing ICOM to divert attention from the front line. ICOM has built two Land Factory HQs. One up at the front, one up at the back. And there was somebody in my video where I accidentally did that was very, very gracious, as Amygdala actually gets down under 3k HP. But was very gracious and was like, if you build two HQs, it's okay. It can be counted off as redundancy. I don't. You're very gracious, my good sir. I forget who exactly it was, but you're very gracious, but it is not okay. All right, Amygdala might die here. Question mark. Fong is on the warpath. Fong has vision. He's brought all of his interceptors over to get vision. He is in range as well. Amygdala dropping down to 1700 HP. Fong 700, 600, 500, 4. Gets body blocked. Drops down to 146 HP. Fong getting distracted by some of these units. I don't know whether that was a block from Amygdala or whether Fong didn't have snipe toggled on his commander. But either way, Amygdala escaping on the skin of his teeth there. And Fraggington, the lucky beneficiary of the Stoned Elf's secret stash up here. Forgot what I was saying about... Oh yeah, that's right. I don't really smoke. I've tried it a couple of times. I lived with a couple of stoners my senior year of college. None of them were elves though, which would have been dope. That would have been really, really cool to live with a bunch of stoned elves. That would have, yeah, we could just call our house Santa's Workshop and then be done with that. Go to the... God, can you imagine? Like, meet girls at a bar. Be like, hey, you want to come back to Santa's workshop? Oh, it's so bad. It just gets worse the more you think about it. Anyway, I did not live with any elves, but they kept being my roommates, very good friends of mine, long time friends. They were like, dude, you just need to try like the right strain, or the right batch. It's like, this is more of a head high, and I think what you need is more of a body high. And I was like, well, right now my pinky toe is feeling pretty wild, so I don't know. I just never really enjoyed it. I just like, I fall asleep. I get really thirsty, and then I want to eat a lot of food, and then I fall asleep. Just like, there's other things I'd rather do with my life than just fall asleep. I already sleep a lot. I can fall asleep in like 2 minutes, just naturally. I don't need to make that worse. My wife hates it. I can fall asleep like instantly whenever we go to bed. It's like we go to sleep, we turn on like Seinfeld or something to fall asleep to, and then I'm just out before like the credits even roll. All right, Fraggington positioning on ICOM's base. ICOM's forward HQ got taken out, but it's okay because he's got another one back here. And looks like he's got a perimeter factory up here. He's got another HQ. I feel vindicated. I don't think there's another word for it. I no longer feel as much of an idiot as I felt before. I still feel like a moron, but at least I'm a moron among friends, you know? It's like that time whenever, if we get Fraggington's pushing, we can just watch this while we talk about the more important things. But you guys know those times whenever you would go to class or something and there's a test, you knew there was a test, you didn't study because, you know, insert whatever reason, but you wanted to party instead. Nobody else, just me. Okay, that's fine. But you sit down and there's somebody and they're like, you sit down next to your buddy. They're like, hey, what do you think about this test? Did you study? And they're like, no, I didn't study either. That just automatically makes you feel better. And there's no reason that it should, because instead of just you being fucked, you're both fucked. But it just automatically makes you feel better. So seeing somebody else build three HQs automatically makes me feel better. And that is the story there. As Fraggington takes a bad air turn and loses several interceptors he shouldn't have lost to ICOM's Air Force. But either way, ICOM's one of his forward expansions has now gone down. He's building several support factories this time, not HQs. Important that we make that distinction. Meanwhile, Thong on the bottom side of the map, we've got several loyalists out from Amygdala, who we saw one earlier that I think was body blocking Thong's commander, but the loyalist production now in full swing there for Amygdala. Thong has got a couple of Ilshivas. Would want a few more. Ilshivas don't do terrible against loyalists. They do probably about the best of any Tech 2 units against the Tech 3 unit. But it's still not great. Thong needs to reposition a lot of his units. Meanwhile, up at the top, Fraggington has now shifted his units and is going after ICOM's primary base here. ICOM made the jump to Tech 3 though. He's got several Harbingers out on the field. That's going to be 5 total. 5 should be enough to mop this up relatively easily. Although, is going to lose a couple of mexes up here along with one of his redundant HQs, potentially. Trying to get some point defense up. He's going to lose a mex. Yes, he will lose a mex. Yes, he will in fact lose a mex. Will not lose a redundant HQ. Just yet. Alright, but Fraggington doing a splendid job here on the northern half of the map there for team number 2. Has well and truly entrenched himself up on the northern side. He's got himself a nice little fire base here. He's got it's 5 triads on the forward line. He's got a couple more in the back line. Are you really playing the UEF if you have any fewer than 20 triads? Or if you build any fewer than 20 triads in a game? I don't think so. I don't think you can make a case for somebody playing as the UEF if they build any less than 20 triads in a game. I think it's a requirement. It literally says whenever you select the UEF in like you're loading into a game, it selects the UEF. You select the UEF. There's a little window that pops up that says, by selecting this faction, you agree to build at least 20 triads within this game. A lot of people, I'm sure, violate that EULA because they click through it just like they do every single other EULA that they've ever signed. EULA, by the way, is end user license agreement. Pretty much any piece of software that you've ever installed has a EULA associated with it. You probably owe your soul and the souls of your loved ones to many different software vendors. Not just one, probably many. There was like a practical joke that went around a while back. I can't remember what the vendor was, but it was a large software company that literally put, as we got a strat out, that literally put in their end user license agreement, like, you promise to, you know, give us your firstborn son or something like that. They put it as a joke, and then came clean whenever, or I guess like came clean, not really came clean, but they put it in as a joke and then let people just sign up for it, and they owned apparently like several thousand firstborn children. Answers in the comments if you remember what company that was. I can't remember. I remember seeing it in the news several years ago, but it had been in there for like a long time. And of course they went through like the legal channels to like roll it back and everything. So there were no kids that were sold or anything like that. Everybody gets excited like, haha, America, slavery. I think I just demonetized the video. All right. Strat Bomber getting some work done. I think it's taking out 4 T2 mexes and these ASFs shadowing there for Fong. It's gonna be another 2. It's 23 kills to this boy's name. That is a value Strat Bomber right there. And up in the north, ICOM pushing Fraggington back as well. Fraggington seems to have a lot of his attention, at least from a tech perspective, focused down here on the southern side. Or, well, more in the middle of the map, not necessarily the southern side. He's got several Titans, so he's at Tech 3 land. One thing that Team 2 need, though, is Tech 3 air. So we do have... Okay, so we're making the jump here for Amygdala, who is also already at Tech 3 land. We saw Loyalists from him earlier. ICOM is pushing against the first of what is many layers of UEF defenses, and more are getting constructed because the best offense is a good defense. That's what every football team knows. Was it defense wins games? Is that right? I don't know. I only went to like 3 football games at A&M. I was a great Aggie. If there's anybody that went to Texas A&M, watches my channel, they're gonna unsubscribe immediately. Anyway, Tech 3 air on the field though for Fraggington. Also got Tech 2 land. He's got an HQ. I think this was inherited from the Tipsy Elf. Sorry, Stoned Elf. Harbs though gonna throw their lives away for the cause against the impenetrable UEF defenses, as the next layer of triads have now opened fire. Plasma cannons also getting their fair share of damage in, and the pillars adding insult to injury. So ICOM is going to run back with his tail tucked firmly between his legs, as Fraggington gears up in the middle for what looks like a pretty hefty assault here. Also has a tactical missile launcher here, fully loaded, no kills to its name. It's kind of like, that's about as good of a tactical missile launcher as I would build. I'm sorry, Fraggington, I didn't mean to insult you like that. I'm sure it's way better of a tactical missile launcher than I would build. Strats and gunships coming in. Fraggington now with his own ASF on the field, taking out one of Fong's strats. So going to be able to get back a little bit of that air control. And TYR Shadow, he's got a couple of Tech 2 point defense here, but not a whole lot in terms of land tech. He is trying to get Othams out right now. I think that's his first Otham coming off of the line right now. And his commander is involved, but he seems to be going for the Magneto from X-Men approach with letting the pawns go first. So we've got all the Tech 1 units just kind of streaming in, acting like cannon fodder, while the Titans are mopping up various units. And now we've got a tank company, or a division of tanks from the south coming in. And I know I mixed those terms up in a cast before, and one of you very graciously explained the difference to me in what was an excellently written comment. And thank you so much, but I, for the life of me, cannot remember what that comment said right now. So I'm going to call this a tank company, and I'm going to hope that I'm correct on that. And I'll go read the comments again after this. I know the exact comments and the exact video that was posted on, so I'm so sorry that I forgot. But I do read all of y'all's comments. And thank you guys so much for commenting, offering tips, suggestions. It does mean a lot to me. But the Otham's support from Fong from the south, going to be able to mop that up. Even ICOM getting involved, bringing some Harbs in from the north. And that's just going to be a lot of mass there that's now been deposited on TYR Shadow's doorstep. Needs a little bit of power. Needs a little bit of the good juice to get that going. Did lose a Tech 2 power generator. It's got Tech 3 power generator under construction, and it's going to rebuild another Tech 2 power generator. And now we've got bricks out on the field. They're getting strap bombed there for Amygdala. And we have gunships as well from Fraggington. So instead of going for ASF spam, going for gunships. Don't know if I agree with it, but it's what's happening. Got this one brick, making it in the back line. Gonna pick up gonna pick himself up a little mechs. Guess we gotta ask ourselves a question. Actually, we don't have to ask it anymore because that brick just died. What we're gonna ask is whether it's worse to have one brick shoved up your ass or a bunch of bricks shoved down your throat. I have not tried either of them personally. Neither sound very good, to be fair. But I think Fong is about to experience one or the other, as he gets a nice overcharge there on a brick. And Fong positioning his commander in what you might consider a slightly dangerous position, considering he doesn't have a whole lot of land support. He has 3 Othams and 4 Ilshivas behind him versus a lot of bricks. It's 9, 10. He's got a lot of bricks. There's a lot of bricks out there. And all right, Otham, that little company of tanks is making its way back towards the south, as these two Titans gonna clash here. ICOM also has got a little detachment of Harbingers harassing Amygdala's position as well. Fong gonna lose a strat there to the bouncers that are in the mix. So he's got his AA on lockdown, and actually going to reposition his forces to deal with the ICOM incursion here. And Bong's commander, not good. Not good, sir. Not good. Not good at all. I don't know if Amygdala's noticed, but I don't know if Bong's noticed either. Okay, they both noticed, and it is now too late for Fong, I think. Even if these Othams get here, Fong is done ski. And yeah, I think Fong can now attest that it's pretty painful to have a bunch of bricks shoved down your throat. And you know, whenever I was little, my mom told me that a foolish man slips over a banana peel and then slips on a banana peel again because he didn't learn his mistake. A smart man slips on it once and then remembers and doesn't do it again. And a wise man watches somebody slip on a banana peel and then doesn't do it because they watch somebody else do it. So I think that we can all say that we are wise men that are watching this cast. We just watched Fong get a bunch of bricks shoved down his throat. And if we're wise, we won't let the same thing happen to us. I can tell you, though, from experience that I am a stupid man because I have let it happen to me, and I will probably let it happen to me again. All right, Mex is getting taken down, though, from Fraggington. ICOM has cracked layer number 2 of the UEF shell. How's layer number 3 looking? Not great. Not great. Not gonna lie, Fraggington. I think you're dropping the ball a little bit on this point defense spam thing. We've got some air cleaners and some SAMs, but I'm not seeing any more triads. I only counted 8 up here. So I think Fraggington is in violation of the end user license agreement for the UEF. Should be punished accordingly. I don't know what that punishment is. Make him play Aeon for 6 games straight. Punishment fits the crime, okay? I don't make the rules. I don't lay down the, or I don't make the law. I just lay down the law. All right. But either way, these harbs are now going to be able to walk into the air production, such as it stands for Fraggington. Fraggington also losing some of his other perimeter positions there from ICOM. ICOM has systematically dismantled Fraggington's ability to do just about anything in like the last 3 minutes. And he's trying to get Ravagers up. You know, valiant attempt to get yourself once again in compliance with the UEF compliance standards as laid down by some official sounding body that I can't make up a name with now. But yeah, the Harb's gonna run shop here. Second Ravager gonna go up, but this is not gonna be enough. There is a strat out there, but as well as a bunch of T1 bombers, but we do have Skyboxers in this mix. And Ravager is gonna do what they can. At the end of the day, I think only 1 kill. I think actually way more is gonna die from these power generators exploding. As ICOM loses almost his entire army, stands too close to some fusion reactors. Oi. That ain't good. Alright, so Fraggington lost. Fraggington lost all of his air. And ICOM, I don't know what ICOM's commander is doing here, but it's taking some pot shots on some air that's just chilling. And there is a strat here, and that strat could have gone after ICOM's comm, but I think Fraggington had other things on his mind at the moment. Now, TYR Shadow finds himself in... He's going to take out all of the air, I think, for his opponents, but does find himself in a somewhat compromising scenario against ground-based AA. You just bug out. Better to save the $80 million aircraft. But now, oh my god, is TYR Shadow going to make the same mistake that Fong just did? He was not a wise... No, he was a wise man, actually. He staged enough land units close to him as well as strap bombers. Now it is Amygdala that is on the run, thinking that he could get the same trick to work twice. The T-Wire Shadow said, "Fool a friend of mine once, shame on you. Fool me after I saw you fool a friend of mine, shame on me." And Fraggington wants no shame, I don't think. Although his commander is still very far forward. He does at least have nano and tech 2. So he has 20k HP. So it will take a long time to kill him, but he is by no means impermeable. Either way, this is looking pretty bad there for team number 2, as Fraggington is, I believe, about to crumble up at the top. He's got a couple of Titans, a couple of Percivals here too. There's just too many Harbs here. And he's trying to get himself back into compliance with those standards. Once again, we got 2 triads, but remember, the EULA says 20. This only makes 10. I think that's the reason why Fraggington lost, you know? He hasn't lost yet, but that is why it is not going well for him. Let's just leave it at that. But we are almost 40 minutes into the game. I have not seen an experimental yet. Is anybody cooking anything spicy for me in the kitchen? No? Got a SMD. That is not super spicy. ICOM? Hello? No, nothing from ICOM. Fraggington has no base anymore. Let's see. Oh, hello there. Amygdala came through for me. It's like whenever I go into the kitchen after my wife's been in there for about 40 minutes and, hey, you cooking something spicy for me? I'm just kidding. I never say that. I would never say that to my wife, because she doesn't cook, and so she doesn't know what to do in the kitchen. I'm gonna get myself. The only reason I'm saying this is because she's at work right now and she can't hear what I say. So, I get to be free. It's just been a good day for freedom, you know? I feel a huge weight lifted from my shoulders as ICOM has built multiple HQs. And that's I think about it. All right, Monkey Lord's done there for Amygdala. He's gonna make his way north. I'm being very hard on my wife. I love my wife. I make a lot of jokes about her, but she is a truly amazing woman and deserves somebody much better than me. All right, Monkey Lord gonna scare off ICOM's troops. ICOM got a second army. It's making its way up towards the south, and Amygdala, his commander is not looking too good. It looked like he tried to airlift it, but I believe there's a lightning tank. Yeah, there's a lightning tank in this mix. I wouldn't get your commander in the air with a lightning tank around or with all of these ASFs around. I would just like walk your commander north. Why are we trying to airlift our commander whenever it's in your base? Where are you gonna go? Like, there's nowhere to airlift it to. And you've got ICOM as Tech 3 air now as well. And Amygdala is, I guess, going to sacrifice himself against the Othams. Pings going out. I'm not sure who's making those pings. But either way, Amygdala without overcharge. I don't think he had overcharge. But he's going to fly a little too close to the sun. Get some Othams. Fraggington. Soon to follow. I think Team 2, they had it for a second, but weren't able to close out. They just didn't quite hit hard enough. It's like if Apollo Creed had just hit Rocky a little bit harder in the second movie, we wouldn't have had another 4 movies that nobody needed to see. Well, third one was okay. Fourth one was also okay. 5 and 6, I don't know what the hell was going on with 5 and 6. But it is what it is. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys enjoyed all the cringy humor. I know I had a lot of fun, and I will see y'all in the next one. Peace.